Welcome to Sharing My Truth with Mel and Suzie, the uncensored version, where we bear it all.
We do.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Share My Pod. It's so good to be here. And you're here with Mel and Suze, and we're here to say...
Yeah, what are we here to
Yeah,
say?
what were we? Like, subscribe.
Mhm.
What else do we say? Follow, comment,
Share your story.
share your stories. There it is. You can
good.
go to sharemytruth.com, share your stories there, share all of them. Good, bad, ugly, disgusting, hot, sexy,
Wow.
any other
Whatever.
adjectives you want to throw that. Okay. Or you can go to Share My Truth pod on Instagram
Mhm.
and TikTok
Tickety tock.
and fucking YouTube.
Yeah, get on the YouTubes.
Yeah, we're getting some fun ones on there. Because we also do film this.
We do.
If you guys didn't know, we film.
Yes.
You can see us in person if you don't know what the hell we look like.
Now you do.
In case you wanted to know. This episode is kind of an interesting one.
Was a bit more serious, so you were supposed to be more serious.
Sorry, I'm very serious.
Yeah. It's a serious matter.
Okay, it is a serious matter. I don't know
Wow.
how to be serious about this. Like, obviously, it is serious. Okay, it's what these specific. I can't even say this. The specific term that they
Mhm.
want, I guess, this to be called is called cyberflashing.
Yeah, which is the first time I'd ever
It's
heard
the first time
this.
I've ever heard it.
Do you actually say flashing in North America?
Barely. Yeah, we do. If someone flashes you on the subway,
Okay, yeah. So it is a thing.
yeah.
So I mean, I'd never really thought about flashing, obviously, but I never thought about. I mean, I obviously know the men expose themselves, but I never really thought the term cyber flashing. But apparently, it is.
That makes sense. Obviously, cyberflashing is a fancy term for dick pics, unsolicited dick pics.
It is essentially, yeah.
Unsolicited, obviously, because people can send and receive dick pics with permission.
Of course, they can. Yeah.
I've loved seeing
Yeah.
a permissive.
as long as you're the
dick.
right age and it's legal, because then there's all sorts of
Of
problems.
course,
So please, just
if you're gonna send one.
yeah. Be
But we, Mel found this little article in Grazia,
yeah, it's Grazia magazine. It's a very
English, British.
well-known British magazine.
We have it here, obviously. You got it here, or no?
No,
Oh,
I'm sent it
oh,
from the sunny shores of the motherland.
oh, fabulous!
Because I don't buy it here.
Across the pond.
Yeah, they send it over.
Well, she found this lovely little article about this guy, who was jailed, and I'll read some of this article. I'm not going to read the whole article. If you guys want to read it, we're going to put it on a little blog. You guys can read the whole article. We're just going to take out little parts that we want to kind of bring more attention to, which are kind of more the facts of this. So I'll read a little bit. So when Nicholas Hawkes was jailed for 66 weeks last month, he became the first person in England to be imprisoned for cyberflashing after it was made illegal under the Online Safety Act in January. And obviously this is England. Yeah. So Hawkes sent unsolicited photos, obviously dick pics, of his erect penis to a woman and a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah, it's gross.
So obviously disgusting. And like, as women, this is why I think I just can't take this serious. Not that I can't take it seriously, but the fact that women across everywhere have been sent an unsolicited dick photo.
It seems,
And I think we're
it's
just told not to take it seriously. And that's why I can't take it.
Yeah.
It's a mental problem for me. It's
no,
not the problem. It's my
Yeah,
problem.
I think you're 100%
Do you know
right.
what I mean?
I think it's interesting because one of my daughters was telling me like she gets them all the time.
No.
And I was like, what? And she's older than 15, and I couldn't believe. She's like, yeah, they just send them, and I'm just like what? Like to me, I just like, what crosses your mind as a man that you think it's okay to send a picture of your penis, erect or not, to a woman who has not asked for that picture? I'm just flabbergasted as to how you think that's okay.
Yeah,
I know that it happens all the time and it's very, very common, but I think something has happened in the online sphere. And it's just like you somehow think because it's online, it's okay. It's really not.
Well, I can't also, I mean,
But I know it happens a lot.
Actually, I mean, I was going to be like, I think it's getting better. Maybe it's not because of your daughters, what you're telling me right now. But like, I obviously remember getting them when I was younger too. And I think it's a younger guy thing to do a little bit too.
Maybe it is because I've certainly never had one. Not recent years.
Well, I also think obviously within this coming age of the internet, obviously it's everywhere now.
Yeah.
But like of course, if you could take a picture of your penis, what man isn't going to fucking do that?
I mean, I've said this before in another pod. When I was a younger woman, I have experienced flashing many times. When I was a kid, I can remember 2 very specific situations, and they were to me specifically. And I didn't think about it until
disgusting.
years and years later.
It's like repressed memory.
Yeah. I mean, one situation, I've mentioned this before, but I was probably about 8 or 9, and I was with a friend of mine, and her brother, he does have some, what's a nice way of putting it? His mental capacities are not where they should be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he was a lot older. So he was about probably 16, 17 at the time. And we just went out with him, and our parents thought, well, that's fine. He's just looking after us. And, he was perfectly capable of looking after us. He just wasn't, fully all
There.
intellectually there.
Yes.
Is that a good way of putting it? And we were just like in a park, and we're just sitting there, and all of a sudden he gets it out, and he starts starts fiddling with it, and didn't get us involved. This is a lot of information, everyone. Didn't get us involved or anything like that, but I think, obviously it's hard to remember, but I'm not sure he really knew what he was doing, because he's not mentally very mature, emotionally very mature. But anyway, it happened more than once, and it took me a very long, many, many, many years later. I was like,
oh my God,
that's very fucked up. When it happened again, when I was in a swimming pool, why do these things always happen in a swimming pool? And you're a younger woman, younger child, young teenager, and this man was just standing, and all the girls coming out, and he just kept getting his penis out of his swimsuit and showing all the girls.
Oh my
God. And you're at an age when you're very young, you're just like, what is that? I don't even know what that is. I mean, obviously know that's a male appendage.
Yes.
But I don't know why is he doing it? I don't get it, And so you sort of put it somewhere, and you think about it much later on. And I think, I guess, if you give a man a camera and he has a penis, which he's obviously going to have, he's going to want to take a picture of it. I understand that, but why the fuck is he sending it to anybody? And why does he not think that's not really a terribly good idea?
That's a problem. Yeah, I don't understand why
It's
they don't
gross.
think it's a problem thing.
It's revolting. And does he think if he sends, because that's the thing I struggle with, and that's the conversation I had, is that they send these pictures and then they expect you're going to go, oh yeah, that's a great penis, let's go out.
Ew, right? I'm like,
where is this going?
Unless the penis is attached to a guy who I want to fuck. And now that I'm of age, obviously, we
but
get
I
it.
think you would have wanted to see more than the penis.
I would also that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
I've met him. Send me a picture of your penis.
I would love to see your penis, sir.
Right.
And then that's when you send it.
Exactly. This is
why
my
are you
point.
sending it without permission?
What is going through your mind that you think it's okay? I mean, what is going through your mind? I mean, I do know, unfortunately, girls who've done the same kind of thing and sent pictures of their nether regions, see, I'm being very polite, to boys, and just like, what the hell?
I mean, also just as bad.
You have
that's also just as bad.
Yeah, it's 100%.
It is.
If you have teenagers, you have to confront this, you have to talk to them. It's a really serious issue.
Yeah.
And
because it's actually, if I could say this, child pornography.
100%.
If you're underage, obviously.
it's
and if it gets sent
really
around,
bad.
the person who sent that picture can have jail time, I'm pretty sure. It can be
Yeah,
fined
I mean,
at least or something.
It's gross. And, not to mention that there is something, if you're particularly under, or really what age you're doing this, and you're sending an unsolicited picture, because we have these channels of communication, you have no boundaries.
Yeah.
Whether you're a woman or a man. Like, you have to understand there are boundaries. By all means, enter a conversation with somebody and send them whatever you like. If that's that boundary, you said, okay, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
what we're doing. But not before. I mean, in some cases, these pictures are being sent and they don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
They don't know who
It's
you are.
the random guys. That's what fucking kills me.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you think this is why
Why is this okay?
I'm not going to talk to you after this?
Yeah.
I'm going to block you.
I'm going to freak
I'm not
out.
even going to respond.
I mean, I think what you're saying, and I think that's, what I generally got from younger women is that they're just like, ugh, yuck, whatever. And they obviously just block you. They don't
because
do
I think if
anything
you
about
freak
it.
out, that actually gives them more power about it.
100%. But I think in this case,
Yeah.
if this is a man, like from, the discussions I've had with, let's say, young women,
Yes.
it's not the same guy sending like, thousands of himself. It's lots of different guys.
Yeah.
This is one guy doing it. It's revolting. It's scary.
Yeah.
And I remember once when I was in my 20s and I was at university and this guy was like stalking me on the phone, like because you didn't have
Oh
cell
my God,
phones.
he's
or anything.
stalking you on the phone.
So he'd call my house. And I was like, how the hell does he know where I live?
Oh,
and he'd
that's
call me
so
up
terrifying.
and I pick up the phone and he'd go,
Ew.
like down the phone. And this is in a time when, how the fuck did he know where I live? There was no, this was a very different time. There was no internet. There was no Instagram. It was just phones. There were no mobile phones. There was no, he had
Yellow pages.
Pretty much. And what it didn't say, surprisingly, next to my name, 23-year-old who's up for it. And it was a bit like, and then you're sort of looking out your apartment, the window's like,
Terrified.
what has he seen? What is he? And of course, he could have been anyone. I don't know. And I never found out. And he did it for a bit and then he stopped. But it's like, what? Like, and okay, we've heard those stories and there's been lots of sort of strange movies about stuff like that. But I think the propensity, the amount of dick pics that are sent to particularly young women, because I think it is a generational thing, it's got to be more than the creepy guy going down the phone. It's like lots of men. But what is going through their mind? I mean, if you are on, I don't know, some kind of, I remember one of my friends was on this, I guess it's like a hookup site, shag site, I don't know.
A shag site.
And she was like, trying to date after a horrible marriage and whatever. And she was showing the pictures at like the time. And this is sort of, maybe it's a little bit before the apps like Hinge and whatever, the previous episode we've done. And there'd be like, photos of the guy like normal and then like his penis. And you'd just be like, okay.
It's like
but
once-
that's different. Like you're going on the site. I don't particularly want to see his penis. You keep your penis to yourself. But she's going on the site looking for hookups. It's there. There's a photo of him in his suit. And this one guy was actually ironing with nothing on, which I thought was very funny. And then there was a picture of his penis. I thought, oh, that's interesting. Because she was showing me. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, why not?
And you're like, but you're going to see the penis. It's there. Right? You're on the site.
Yeah.
The penis is coming up. I don't know if they still do that. But
I don't know either, to
are
be
there any
honest.
sites with actual appendage bits that you can see? What would those sites
Tinder?
be?
What do you mean?
Do you see like the dick
I haven't been on
Tinder?
Tinder in 8 years. I have no idea.
Interesting.
But you can't send pictures on Hinge.
really
You have to go off the app to send a photo.
of
Like you have
just
to ask for
of
their
anything
number.
like
Yeah,
your
you can't
photo.
send a photo of anything on Hinge.
Interesting, because they're gonna get
Because obviously you're gonna get fucking dick pics.
the
Okay, but
legal.
let me ask you a question,
ramifications.
okay?
Yeah.
Because now I'm just thinking about this because it's like, when is it? Let's just ask. When is it okay to send an unsolicited dick pic? If you
Never.
are in a relationship, does that give someone the right to send you an unsolicited picture of your genitals?
That's an excellent question.
And
Susie.
I would say, if my man has seen my tits, if my man has seen everything obviously about me, and he's just at work dilly-dallying away, and I send him a nice picture of my naked body, is that...
But you're assuming. I mean, if
I'm
you
assuming
sent
he
him-
wants to see it, obviously.
Yeah, and you're assuming that you get to the point where he's already seen it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would...
I mean,
I don't know.
yeah,
People have online relationships all the time.
they were. Yes, I know
They
they
have
do.
online relationships.
I know they do. But I mean,
So-
look, I mean, as long as you have the permit, I mean, I think you have to know that it's okay. And you're in a a thing, a flirtation. I mean, yeah, I assume lots of people do send stuff before they actually see their body. And I know that that's actually where the generations divide. And I don't mean if I was my age and I was dating, which obviously I'm not, that I quite possibly would be doing it. But what I'm talking about is when I was dating, that wasn't happening because there was no way of doing it. We weren't doing it. How would you take a picture?
No,
and
you
send
would
it?
take a Polaroid and then mail it.
Yeah, and that might take a long time.
It
Might be
might.
over it by then. So I think that because we're in this era where you can do it, it's changed everything. The thing that I find so interesting, and I've seen, and we've talked about this on a previous episode, and I've seen so many stories, I've heard friends tell me so many stories where they've taken a picture of something and they've fucking forgotten it's on their phone, and then they've sort of handed their phone to Auntie May.
Oh,
and
this happens to me all the time,
You know,
Mel.
here you go, Auntie May. This is a picture of when I was in Niagara Falls, and then all of a sudden, swipe, it's your vagina.
Yes!
Or you know, like when you're in a store or something, and you've got like you're sort of doing
do your
your
card
membership thing or whatever, and they swipe it, or let's say you're on a plane or something, and by mistake they sort of do that sometimes.
And there's your pussy.
And then there you are in all your glory. So I'm always like, what? I mean, you sort of have to. To me, that's why I'm terrified of it. I'm just like, no.
Have you never taken a sexy photo? Little sexy selfie?
Not that has remained on my phone.
But she has, obviously.
It doesn't
She's a
stay
hot
on my
little
phone.
milk.
I'm very particular about that, because it will surface when you least want it to, and especially when you
No,
have
it's right.
children, they just take your phone all the time and they go like that.
Well, I mean, like...
I mean, as an example, I'll give you an example.
Go ahead, love.
So, like once, quite a few years ago, and one of my daughters was looking at text between me and my Max and myself. And this is probably the beginning of the whole sort of aubergine, what do you call it, eggplant and all of that. And there was an eggplant and whatever, and she was just like, "Mom, I know what that means. That's an eggplant." And
And you're like, yeah, we're having eggplant for
Yeah.
dinner club.
and you're like, oh my God, it's just a text, right? To my husband of 25 years.
Obviously, with
There
kids,
might
it's
be
a
an
bit different. You have
eggplant.
to hide things on your phone differently.
If you can't
obviously.
do a text, God knows if you had anything else on there. And I would there are ways of hiding stuff on your phone, and I would encourage people to do that.
Yeah, there are a lot of
If
ways
that's
of
what you
doing
want
that.
to do that, But you got to be really careful. But that's a whole different thing from somebody sending you pictures that you probably don't know, possibly aren't even connected to, and they're sending you. Why?
Okay, so let me give you something
Yeah,
here from
go
this
ahead.
lovely article. So, a survey carried out by the UK's leading charity against online abuse, Glitch, found that respondents reported a 27% increase in online abuse during the pandemic. In 2021, a study by the University of
Leicester.
Thank you, found that a third of women said that they had been cyberflashed. A
Yeah.
third. I would even say that's more.
I'd say that's low. Yeah.
Right?
I'd say it's much higher than that. I mean, young women, I'd say it's probably like 3/4. But I think, like, you're right. A lot of women have had the picture and they're just going, oh, whatever. They don't consider it.
Because, I'm
So,
sorry, I'm
yeah.
not going to give this man the time of fucking day.
No.
I'm
Or
it's
block
like,
him immediately.
immediately. Like, what am I going to do? Like, it's like, and a lot of social media sites have gotten really good at like blurring photos of people like who are just like random people who are sending you messages. So you kind of like can understand what it is
Mm-hmm.
and like know what it is and then
Yeah.
block them without even seeing it, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But,
that's right. That's true.
But yeah,
I think we've had a
I
couple
don't
on
wanna
the pod
see it.
of pictures that were like,
Yeah, guys, don't send us your
Okay.
unsolicited dick pics.
I don't
We're not
want
going to look at them. We're not going to
no.
respond to them.
No.
Don't do it.
No.
You can tell us about your dick pic stories, though.
Yes, you can.
I sent a girl a dick pic, and she said it was ugly. That's the story I want to hear.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's the other
Devastating.
thing is what if you send that, and this is obviously, being very flippant, but you send a picture of your penis, obviously thinking it's amazing.
That's the thing.
And the girl's like,
That's what I'm going to start doing, Mel, is I'm going to be like, that's the ugliest thing I've ever fucking seen.
and I mean, I would like to say this, gentlemen,
It's so small. It's disgusting. That's what I'm going to start saying.
penises really, I mean, at the best of
not
times, they're
cute.
not really, they have a decent function in the world and they're really quite useful, but they really are not standalone beautiful.
No.
And the fact is
They have
women,
to be attached to the right man.
yeah, but really the penis on its own is not that amazing. No. I mean, obviously, is nice and everything.
Is
but
it?
unlike women who look pretty much,
Pretty amazing.
are beautiful. Yeah. Men, I'm not sure what God was thinking. I mean, especially the ball sacks. I'm not really sure what he was thinking.
The
there.
ball sacks, yeah.
I mean, especially as they get older, I'm not really entirely
Everything
sure.
just hangs a little lower.
Yeah, it definitely drops. But I mean, like, it's so if you're thinking, I'm going to send a woman something because I want to her, your penis is not going to do it. It really isn't.
No.
And I don't know what to say.
I mean, they say in this that obviously education around consent is the key to this.
Oh,
obviously.
100%. But I think this guy is older. And I talk to my kids.
He does look older, but he
at
looks
that
like
age.
he honestly looks like 36. He's
Yeah.
not that old. He's a millennial.
Yeah. But something did happen to millennials in the disconnect. And maybe it's
Yeah, of
because
course, because we grew up with the internet way too fast.
Yeah.
There was no barriers.
Yeah.
Like barely anything.
But I think to be honest, I think it's, I hate to say this, you're going to hate me for saying
No,
this,
I'm not.
and I've said it to you before.
Whatever.
Gen Xers, because, we basically invented the internet and all the, everything,
You did.
and also we grew up not using or needing this technology. We all know how to use it. I use it all the time.
Yes.
But we are very happy to not use it, right? We can step away from it.
You can live without it.
Absolutely. And so we use it as a tool, not as a necessity. Whereas as the generations have gone on, it's like breathing. They absolutely have to. I mean, my kids can't even go to the toilet without looking at TikTok. And they it's really, really important to them. It's like all the time, all this stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's pretty bad.
But what is so bizarre is that I think most Gen Xers know if you go into some kind of online platform and say something, whatever it is, it's there. Just because it's in the internet, online, it doesn't disappear. It's there.
Yeah.
If you show your penis, show your boobs, say something you shouldn't say, you're fucked. It's there. And your name. And you know what? They can find you. Whereas somehow younger people, they don't think that, which is so bizarre because they grew up with it.
I mean, it's
Why is that?
It's
Doesn't
just
make
like
any
our
sense.
last episode when we did on OnlyFans, and it's like the stuff. I mean, this is a little bit more illegal.
It's a lot grosser.
But you have to know that this can's
It's there.
this has consequences.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And, there's this thing called a screen grab.
I just need. This is illegal.
It's gross.
It's disgusting, and
You're crossing bound. I mean, come on.
yeah,
You must know this is not cool.
women just don't want to see it. Like we don't want to have to. We don't want to have to tell you that the shit is wrong anymore.
Yeah, I think that's
We're
a really
so fucking sick of
I
this.
think it's a really good way of putting it. I mean, particularly old, I had, when I was at work in my 20s, because, stuff wasn't illegal, I just heard and experienced so much stuff.
God.
And I worked in all male sales floors and they were horrendous. They were always saying completely inappropriate. They were disgusting. And, that was 30 years ago. We really should be over this.
Yeah.
So I don't, really, I mean, do we really need to tell you, don't send a picture of your penis? Because if I don't know you and I don't like you, I definitely don't want to see your penis.
No.
I only want to see your penis if I like you and you're really attractive and it might be helpful.
And I've asked for your penis.
And
picture.
I've asked to see it.
I love
And
asking
I'm
for penis pictures.
and the right age, and I'm legal.
Look, if I haven't asked for it, why are you sending it?
I don't know.
Unless you send, for me, I'm not saying this is for everyone. If you send your penis picture along with $150, I will rate your penis.
Only 150.
Just to look at it, yeah. Imagine how many penis pictures I'm going to get now for $150.
That's true.
If it's not $150,
That's true.
if it's the higher the money, the better rating I'll give it.
Wow. This could be grim. You could actually have so many. You'd be.
Look, I don't want to laugh at this. This is not a laughing matter. This is illegal, but I'm just saying we are so fucking sick of this.
I think
I have to make a joke about
We're
everything.
trying to be lighthearted because it is just like, really?
Exhausting.
We're still doing
It's
this?
exhausting.
We're still talking about this?
And I'm not going to be angry about it.
Yeah.
It just can't take this much of my attention to be like super angry about it. Like it's a reality that women deal with and also
All the
men
time.
deal with,
All the
I'm
time.
sure, but maybe not in the
All
same
the time.
capacity. But it's just like, we're fucking sick of it. Stop
sick
flashing us
of
in the
it,
fucking
and-
subway. Stop flashing us on the
Yeah.
fucking pool. Stop fucking flashing us in
Yeah.
our Instagram
Or
DMs.
stop touching women,
Groping.
Yeah, I mean, certainly when I was younger
Disgusting.
and friends of mine like had horrible situations. Like, stop it. It's like, just because you are a living, breathing woman that may have bosoms, or not, perhaps you don't have big bosoms, but it doesn't. There's nothing
An ass.
saying,
You have anything.
please touch me.
Let's
no,
not grab 'em by
they're
the pussy.
mine.
Yeah.
Go away. I'm not grabbing your penis on the subway.
No, they would like that though.
I mean, I can't. I mean, yeah. I mean, how often has that happened? The amount of my friends that have had their boobs, including myself, their boobs or their crotches grabbed on the New York subway, the Paris metro, or the London tube is insane. And it's actually been worse than that. And I won't go into
Oh my God.
stuff that comes out of said penis.
No.
And that is like,
Oh yeah, like people jerking off on
Yeah.
the subway.
yeah, on you.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah, and that happened to my friend. She got off the, like, what is that? Yeah. Or like, you're in a packed subway and,
Someone's literally groping
something's,
it. Oh.
that's a little
Ah,
hard, And it's just like, really?
just makes me so annoyed. Like I'm just like, fuck off.
Yeah. It's not,
If I want to see it, I will
Yeah.
ask.
but I think,
Promise you.
yeah, exactly. And I think as a sort of, for me,
You
anyway.
gotta work for it a little
Yeah,
bit.
from a final point, like our last episode was about OnlyFans. There are a lot of platforms now. I understand that possibly some of these men, and this man obviously has an issue, and he doesn't know how to deal with women, and he obviously has some serious issues
Serious.
surrounding sex. But you know what? If he cannot interact in the world and cannot find a woman, which is possibly how this has all happened, there are, I don't know, get a subscription to OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Go the cam girl, whatever. Go and do something
literally
where it's legal.
Send your penis pictures over there.
Yeah, or just do that. What is wrong with you that you're sending it to an underage girl, somebody who hasn't
So
asked,
Gross.
is repulsive. But obviously, this is a repulsive individual, and there are lots of repulsive men and women in the world.
Yes.
But please, everyone, can you stop doing
Yeah,
it?
let's stop doing it.
And that's the end of
That's
my
Mama Mel.
sermon.
Thank you, Mel.
Stop. We don't want to see them.
Fuck no. But yeah, if you guys have dick pic stories, we don't want to see your dick pics.
Please don't
Please
send
don't send them to us. We're not
because
going
we
to look at
have
them. We
had
will
some,
block you.
and I really don't want to see. Actually, fortunately, I think they were blurred out, weren't they?
Yeah, I think that happens.
Does Instagram blur them out?
I think
now?
Instagram. If
Or
it's
they
from a
put
message,
them-
you don't.
Yeah,
no.
they put them in one of the folders, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know.
So
Yeah.
don't send them to us.
No. No.
If you have to, send it with a $1,000 deposit, e-transfer to Mel.
Wow. Yeah.
Just in case for a little tip.
I'm so
And
laughing,
we
but
might look at
we
it.
have to laugh
Might.
because otherwise,
This is what I'm
I think
like,
we would
can't.
cry.
I'm so sick of this
I
shit.
think we'd be crying.
I just can't believe we're still
Yeah.
fucking talking about it, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys have any stories that you wanted to tell us, whether they're, you guys were abused, assaulted on a public transit, which
Yeah.
we are here for, and we
Yeah.
will, sympathize and
Yeah.
empathize.
Yeah.
Because it has
It's
happened,
happened to
us.
me. Happened to you, I'm sure. Or
Yeah.
being flashed at. It's happened to me several
yeah.
times. I mean, not recently, but that I can remember.
Toronto subway is
Yeah.
disgusting. A disgusting
And these
place.
things generally, like I said, flashing happen when you're so young. You're just like,
That's so sad.
what is going on? Because you're not making those connections. You're just like, that's odd.
Well, you just feel, and so with online, it's like you
Yeah.
just feel so like these men just feel so safe doing it because they're
100%.
so anonymous.
How are they going to find it?
It's like,
You're like, there's this thing called an IP address.
yeah, we'll fucking find
Where
you.
you can find you. The police are quite clever. Yeah, unless, unless,
Get a Mel.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so stupid. And oh yeah, and you've sent it from the account. It's just like,
We know who you are.
It's kind of unbelievable. But this young girl, that's horrible that's happened to her.
Yes.
All power to her if she was, very upset and she did something
and you
about
came
it.
forward.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
fucking amazing.
it's very courageous. I really wish that we weren't talking about this, but I would say that this does go both ways in the sexes. And I do know of women and younger and older who also send unsolicited, which to me is completely horrifying, because if you are sending that to a man who has not asked for that, you think, oh, well, of course he's going to freak the fuck out probably. Like, what is this?
I don't know. Why would you do it unsolicited if you haven't already seen each other's parts?
I don't
or you're not in a
know.
relationship. Like,
It's a mystery.
for me in a relationship, it's like, yeah, that seems okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you've
Think
seen
so.
it, you've seen it. But it's just all you're like, oh,
A little bit of foreplay.
Can I see it first?
A little bit of
And
foreplay.
and
You
if
can
that's
still
your
ask
thing,
permission.
if that's your thing, you know. I mean, I know that's
Obviously,
the thing
we'll
now.
talk about boundaries with your partner. Maybe they don't want to see it, and that's something you have to talk to them about. That's
Yeah. Don't send it without asking. And definitely don't send it to people you don't know.
no.
And I'm talking any parts of anybody's anatomy. I think that's covered everything, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think you're good.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So, guys, if you have anything more to say to us, which I hope you do, go to sharemytooth.com. Send us a little voicemail. Send us an email. ShareMyToothPod. Send us a DM, but not a dick pic. Thank you so much. Bye. Sharing My Truth Pod is so excited to partner with Vibrator.com, where the A in vibrator is the number 8. This is an extremely exclusive code where no other podcast has it. If you go to Vibrator.com right now, use the code MS15, that's MS15 at Vibrator.com. You can now get 15% off anything in store. That's any sex toys for you, your partner, your neighbor, your mom. We don't judge. We don't care. Get it now. Go to the link in our bio, put in the code, and get jiggy with it.
Thanks so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast and follow us on social at Sharing My Truth Pod, and leave us a voicemail on our website at sharingmytruth.com to share your stories and experiences with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.